Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Yinzer Brothers podcast. I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim, and we are in the same location, which has never happened for the Yinzer Brothers podcast. Again, I'm TJ. This is Tim, and we are the Yinzer Bros. Today, we are talking about the Steelers 2021 draft. I think it was an exciting draft. Tim has a little bit different take on the draft. Of course, Tim lives in his fears. I'm more of the guy that's happy, and I'm a positive guy. So we're going to go through all the picks of the draft, talk about some of the undrafted free agents, and maybe talk a little bit about some of the new Steeler news that's coming up. So, Tim, let's talk about the draft. What did you think about the overall draft?
Overall draft? I mean, I'm flirting between a B minus to C plus.
Okay.
I mean, I thought some picks made sense. I thought some picks didn't make sense. I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, I think Najee was a home run. I wasn't very happy when they drafted an edge rusher. I didn't understand some of the trading up to get the kid from Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
There's just some stuff I didn't get, and I thought they reached for a couple people here and there, but that's just me.
We'll go through all the individual draft guys too, but just to frame it for you guys, Tim has not been happy with, a few of the last Steelers draft picks. He wasn't even happy with the Mika Fitzpatrick trade for a number one pick. Isn't that right?
I thought the pick was going to be a top 5 pick. If it would have been a top 5 pick, I still would have been happy with that Mika trade.
So who do you think is the best safety in football right now?
Best safety?
Yeah. Give me your top 2, Tim.
Buda Baker.
Uh-huh.
And probably Honey Badger.
Oh, so you don't think Mika's in the top 2?
I don't know if he's in top 2. He's good. What type of year did he have last year?
He is in the top 2, guys.
What type of year? What type of year did he have last year?
I think he had a great. What do you do if you pair him with somebody who's a little bit better than Edmonds?
That dude stinks.
He does, and we'll talk about that too.
I mean, I don't know what was more Christmas for me was them not doing the whole entire extension.
That's true. They did not. So he's leaving. He's done. He's going to be out of here at some point.
I will pack his bags for him.
I appreciate that. And then he was not a fan of the Claypool draft either.
I'm still
second round.
That jury's still out. He needs to stop doing TikToks. Jury is still out.
Yeah, he didn't like Highsmith either.
I liked Highsmith. I liked Highsmith.
Did you really, Tim?
I didn't like it when he started playing. I thought he was garbage. I like Highsmith. He's all right.
Well, let's go through all the draft picks. I mean, obviously the Steelers. You can't fault them on this. I think they tried their very best to plug some holes. So let's talk about Najee Harris. Now, of course, the philosophy.
That dude has glorious legs.
He does. He's got huge. He reminds me of Saquon Barkley. He's got those big legs.
He's got big legs, massive legs.
So I don't know where this came from.
God just blessed him with massive tree trunks.
He did. Not unlike the Harris boys.
My legs are like toothpicks.
Well, you got to stop skipping leg day.
I'm so silly built. It's unreal.
So I don't understand where the logic came from where you don't draft running backs in the first round. I don't understand that. I mean, when you talk about crucial elements to your team, they're kind of a crucial element. So tell me, what are some of the pluses we get with Najee?
I think he's a better version of Le'Veon Bell.
Yes, I
think
agree.
the dude is, but he's not a knucklehead like Le'Veon Bell. He doesn't have 7 different baby mamas like Le'Veon Bell.
We'll get letters for
that. He's just. I think, like I said, he's here. He's in Pittsburgh for 2 days, and he's passing out stuff to the homeless kids and stuff. I'm like, the dude's a good dude. First of all, I mean, he is a thoroughbred. He did it at Alabama.
He did.
I mean, I think he's an incredible pass catcher.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can do a lot of stuff he can do with Le'Veon, but I think he's going to be an excellent pass protector.
He is.
I mean, I think the pick was a home run. Like I said, the only thing that gets me nervous about running backs is the shelf life. My guess is but the more I look at it now, the more I kind of thought back and took a step back, he's going to be signed to a 5-year rookie deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's going to be a cheap deal.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have the option of franchising for 2 years after that
and
get him cheap. So realistically, you're probably going to get him pretty cheap for 7 years.
You will.
And then run his wheels off. And I mean,
yeah. Hey, you get 7 years out of a running back. I mean, I think you get your money out of it, right?
You do, but you just don't know what you'd get out of a tackle or you'd get out of an edge guy. You may get 12 years, you may get 14, 15 out of a tackle. So, I mean, it's it's a trade-off, but I think this dude's special.
Yeah, I agree. Well, you're right. It's speciality too for position. I've not seen a running back run with his awareness in a long time. I love his mixture of awareness. He cuts well. I like how he can run over you too. I think that's great too. How's that taste, Tim? Good?
Najee. I'm so very good at Najee, but this will come off pretty soon.
I think he brings a lot to the table that the Steelers haven't had. I wouldn't have considered even Le'Veon Bell necessarily a power back. I think he was. I think he could lean for extra yards.
He had great abs, though.
Yeah. Well, he did have good abs.
Yeah.
We love abs.
Yeah.
But I think I don't think we've had a back of his power nature maybe since Bettis. Maybe.
I agree. I mean,
yeah. So I mean, I mean, he's not going to kill you with speed, but I don't think you need that. I think you get a guy that can lean on you, and I think he's very deceptively athletic and quick. His legs are absolutely ridiculous. You're right.
I mean, they're just baby Jesus. He got in the line twice for those legs.
Tell you what, he did good. And then you got to love too, like you said, he did the whole draft thing at the homeless shelter.
Yep.
Where he lived for a little bit, so he looks like he's pretty grounded.
I mean, any dude that's sitting there working out with Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, that's a plus for me.
I'm good. I'm good with that.
Yeah,
I'm good with that, and I like it that it seems. I guess he's part of Marshawn Lynch's type of promotional, and I mean, Marshawn Lynch is.
Have you ever heard a running back coming out like this? You get guys like Bettis, Marshawn Lynch, Adrian Peterson. These guys are talking. They're giving him high praise. When's the last time you heard of a running back coming out where they were just falling all over a guy like that?
The only people that I've heard consider this a bad pick are these pencil neck geeks who never played football in their life.
I agree.
So, I mean, it is what it is. He's going to be fine. You know, to me, if you're drafting the best players available, he is one of the 24 best players in that entire draft.
I agree, without a doubt.
To me, it's a home run pick.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's talk about the second rounder then. Obviously, we know that the Steelers need help at the tight end position. I know, as being a big fan of Ebron as you are, what do you call Ebron?
Paddle hands.
And as bad as it is at catching, he's even worse at blocking, right?
Casper blocking.
And who would be second on our depth chart before our pick? Who was the other guy that's left?
That was the dude they drafted from Michigan.
Is he the guy's always hurt?
No, the guy's like 110 pounds. He's like 6'10". The guy that met his family or his girlfriend up at the gym. And I want to be like, a dude stinks.
So they draft this kid from Penn State, Pat. How do you say his name? Fairmouth. And I'll tell you what, I think I watched tape on the kid. I think he's a decent blocker. I think he can catch the ball. I like the pick. You don't like the pick. I like the pick.
I would have liked the pick if it was probably about 2 or 3 rounds later. To me, they needed an edge guy. Of all the things they needed, because you couldn't go into the season with that pal of white crap named Marsh, because he stinks. He could take him and his trading cards and go wherever he needs to go. I just thought it was too high. And I mean, I watched some of his stuff, and TJ, I'm sorry, I'm not a Penn State person.
Mm-hmm. I know you're not a Penn State or Notre Dame guy.
No, I think for a lot of Penn State people that crap on Pitt all the time. Mm-hmm. There's been a hell of a lot more good pros coming out of Pitt than Penn State.
Yeah, there's some dominant pros.
I mean, this dude, I don't know. They call him Baby Gronk. That dude is not Baby Gronk. Everything I've seen him, he's very good at his intermediate type of stuff, but he's not going to be somebody like Kelsey who can break you down a seam and kill you.
I don't think they're looking for a Kelsey. I think they're looking for somebody.
Are you out of your damn mind?
I think they're looking for somebody.
That may be the dumbest thing you've ever heard.
I don't think they were looking to find a guy like Travis Kelsey. I think they're looking for a guy that can block. I think they're looking for a guy to replace Heath Miller.
Everybody's looking for a guy like Kelsey.
I understand. So who do you pick, Kelsey or Gronk?
It depends what Gronk you're talking about. You talking about prime for prime?
Yeah.
In their prime?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm taking Gronk all day.
Okay, so I've heard his comparisons, this kid, to not just Gronk, but also to Witten. Now, he's not as big as Witten, but they said he plays like Witten.
Have you watched film on this dude?
I have.
Have you really watched film on this dude?
And he's not bad. I mean, I think
he's from Boston.
Yeah, see, there we go. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
well, technically, where Gronk played high school ball.
In Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Where?
Woodland Hills.
Woodland Hills. That was our rival, or my rival. It wasn't much of a rival for Tim.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, our power of our school back then was just a little slightly different.
Here's what I'll say. I mean, I think the dude is going to end up being good. I do. To me, it's a tough. I would have just took the edge, or I would have taken the center. I like the center they got, but I would have taken the edge. But a lot of people had this dude ranked as one of the top 50 players.
Yeah, I agree.
So I mean, it is what it is. But I hate to say this because I know Mush is going to go bananas when I say it. I like the kid from the tight end from Notre Dame that I thought you could have got later. He has mauling qualities when it comes to blocking, but they never threw him the ball. But he has that build of like a Kittle.
Yeah.
So I think he's a dude. Maybe that dude could have got the 4th round. He could have beefed up somewhere else. But I mean, it is what it is. They had I think if there wasn't a run on the tackles going in the 2nd round, or if the kid from the center from Alabama was there, they would have taken him. So I mean, they're taking, I guess, the best tight end besides the dude Pitts that was the number 4 pick that's out of his mind. So I mean, it is what it is.
I think he's a good pick. I think he'll be immediately impact for us, and it tells me too. I think that kind of gives us a sign toward Ebron. I think this will probably be Ebron's last year.
I mean, dude, unless he grows a pair of hands in the offseason.
Maybe.
How do you not catch the ball when you got them sticky gloves?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know,
TJ,
Tim.
if you I could catch if I had those gloves. You would put those gloves on.
I have.
You could throw a pumpkin and you'd stick.
I agree. I don't understand. I don't know where he's missing it. I don't know.
Unbelievable.
So I think he's a good pick. I think it's plug and play. And then let's go to their 3rd round pick, Kendrick Green, guard. We're going to put him in at center from Illinois.
Yeah, dude.
I like this pick.
At first, when that pick went off, I go, "What are they doing?" And then, I mean, I was like, "This is the worst pick ever." Then I looked at his film. That dude. He even looks like it. He looks like Ramon Foster and pouncing at a baby.
He does.
And he
does.
I mean, the dude, like, what you impressed me about him, you saw a lot of guard at Illinois, but how he can pull and how quick he is off the ground. And every Steelers center that I've known probably for the last, 50 years?
Yeah.
They do a lot. They even pull out of their center.
They do.
So I think, and he's a mean dude.
He is.
Man.
I like his disposition. And you got to think, I mean, good draft positions for the Steelers. We know they're great at wide receivers. Think of their last 4 centers.
I mean, it's insane. What I think was kind of nasty, I heard him, they asked him about coming in. He's like, normally you kind of like cow to the vets. I need to learn, but this dude was like, no, I'm going to be the starter.
I love that.
I mean, to me, I'm kind of like, okay, this dude.
I love that.
This is one dude like Marquise Pouncey. If I'm in a back alley and I got one Steeler to be with,
you want this guy.
I want this guy. I don't want big dumb faces catching helmets across his head.
I understand.
I want that dude.
I don't mind centers that are a little bit smaller too, as far as height, because he's not like 6'2.5". He's not like 6'4", but you get underneath these big guys, it gives you better leverage.
The only thing that I have against him is this: he's from a place in Illinois, because Illinois can't produce any football players. But go ahead.
Where's he from?
Peoria.
Oh yeah, Peoria's downstate.
Yeah, but it's a state of Illinois. When's the last time you heard a good football player come out of the state of Illinois besides Dick Butkus?
That's been a long time. But you know what gave Dick Butkus his props? Where did he play his college ball?
The University of Pittsburgh.
There you go. So
not Butkus. No, Dick played.
Oh, Dick. I thought you
said Butkus play. No, Butkus played it. I think Butkus played at Illinois.
Yeah, he did play at Illinois.
I mean, that's the only guy.
That's true. I thought you were talking about Dick.
No, Dick. I mean, it's sad that
he's a PA guy.
Oh, it's sad that the majority of that's pretty much the Bears' hero is from Pittsburgh. I mean, you need to ingest Pittsburgh Allegheny blood into the city of Chicago.
You do. Well, let's talk around their first of their 2 4th-round picks. What do you think of Dan Moore Jr., tackle from Texas A&M? They took 2 guys right in a row from Texas A&M.
He's the big dude, man. He seems like a big dude.
He's a monster.
I was very happy when I saw that pick. He just looks like a big. He's not going to start. I think he's going to be one of the dudes kind of like project. But I think he's going to end up being pretty good.
I agree. And then they picked Buddy Johnson up, inside backer from Texas A&M. What are your thoughts about Buddy?
I'm not a fan of Buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that names their kid Bud.
Is that a little throwback to Bud Dupree still?
I don't know. The only thing I liked about this dude was he wears like them old neck rolls. That's what I did like about it. But I don't know, dude. I didn't think they needed an inside backer. Again, that's where I thought they would take at least an outside somewhere. I just didn't understand the pick. He's an inside backer. They've got pretty much 4 on the roster now.
They do.
So,
They do.
I mean, this dude's going to make his team name on special teams.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a little bit early to be drafting dudes that is primarily going to be playing special teams.
Yeah. Well, Steelers do that. I think I like his. He seems like he likes to get his head in it and stuff. Which is
he seems like a younger Vince Williams.
He does. He does. Oh, yeah, and Vince is
but he's faster.
Yeah. What's Vince going to do? Is like the 8th or 9th year now? He's up there.
I think so.
Yeah. So he won't be here probably next year. And then what do you think of the pick from Wisconsin, the D tackle,
worst pick in the draft,
Isaiah Loudermilk? You don't like Loudermilk,
dude? This dude had like a 7th round grade on him.
Yeah.
Free agent grade on him. Not only we gave up a 4th round pick next year to get this dude. I was in Twitter hell with some dude that I've never even met. For I'm not lying. He had me so fired up. It went on for like 4 hours. I kept responding to him. This dude, I was like, either you like live in Wisconsin, or you played at Wisconsin, or you're a fan of Wisconsin, or you're this dude's best friend, because this dude stinks. He does. The only thing he has going for him, he looks like Cam Hayward's son.
He does. He's big.
This dude is, but in the face, he looks like Cam Hayward's son. This dude's, I just don't understand it. They drafted defensive linemen late the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point? You're just telling me basically McCullers, Bugs, Carlos that you drafted last year, you made mistakes already.
I think you're always deep in that pool. I think you always get D tackles, always, just for the rotation.
Here's my thing though: the guys you got signed, you bare minimum have them for another 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you wasting a pick on a dude that's not going to play?
Mm-hmm.
And this dude's not going to play special teams either, is he?
No, he's too big for special.
I mean, what are you going to do with him? I don't think this dude's going to draft. He's going to practice squad. This is going to be a dude that some other teams are like, this guy's pretty big. We're going to pick him up, and you're going to see him floating around the league, and he's going to stink.
He might be right. And then they picked up Quincy Roche, a linebacker. He's the edge guy from Miami.
This dude right here, I got a feeling he's going to be coming in. You're going to be like, put it this way. It wouldn't stun me if this dude overtakes Highsmith at some point this year.
That'd be great.
Because I've seen clips of this dude because he was in Temple before, and he went to Miami for that final year. His fundamentals with his hands and his bend, this dude, I don't know why he slipped, because I think he had like a 3rd round grade on him.
He had a 3rd round grade.
I don't know why he slipped. I don't care why he slipped. I don't care if he murdered somebody. That's why he slipped.
Well, you want that on defense.
But this dude, and also he's from Baltimore. He's a Raven fan.
Oh.
I mean, anytime you hear the first thing in his interview, he said after he was drafted, he goes, I told my family, anything purple taken down. He has right now at that time, he had people going out to get terrible towels right now.
That's all I got to hear.
This dude, to me, has a demeanor. When I heard him talk, sounds a little bit like number 92. Just that attitude.
I like it.
And this dude, I got a feeling this dude is going to be like a next Pittsburgh folklore. You're going to be like,
he could be.
So I like that pick where they got him. Put it this way: if they didn't get this dude, you think I hate that dude from Wisconsin's pick now?
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't get this dude saved the dude from Wisconsin a little bit, and I hate him. That guy's already my number 34.
He's your number 30 because 34 is not going to be here hopefully after this year.
I was so happy.
I think Quincy's a good pick. I think he's not the biggest guy in the world. He's like 6'2", but I think he's good. I like the tape that I saw.
Nasty demeanor.
He does, and you need that on the edge. You know, he
he
sets the edge.
That's what it seems like they went through majority of this draft. These guys that have these nasty demeanors. Besides that dude that looks like he's high from Wisconsin.
Well, you got to pick one of those guys. Round 7, the first of their 2 picks.
Yeah.
Trey Norwood, cornerback. I know you're not a big fan on them taking any defensive backs, but I think this kid's not too bad actually.
He has, I mean, from what, golly, he's going to stink. He's going to suck. But, I mean, I don't hate the pick because, I mean, from seeing him, they say he's kind of like almost be a Swiss Army knife. So I think he's going to put him anywhere. He's going to be in that slot.
Like a Hilton guy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, they got to replace him.
I don't hate the pick.
Yeah, I'm with you too. And then
best pick of the draft.
Yeah, how about number 7, 254, the punter, Presley Harvin III. How much? He's like, what is he? 260? 260?
That dude,
260. He's a converted D tackle, I believe.
Hey Barry, I'm packing your bags for you. Hey, guess what? Your naked pictures of people in the front office don't work anymore.
I'll tell you what, he looks fierce.
This dude's gonna be a Pittsburgh folklore hero.
Will. Did you see the thing of him throwing that 50-yard bomb on that fake punt?
This dude. If this dude doesn't beat out Justin Berry, if Justin Berry's on this roster and this dude is not our starting punter, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to lose it.
Well, he led the nation last year in punt average.
And they need to give this dude a low number. Like, this dude needs to be like number 1. I'm serious. Just to see, I want to see number 1 in that 265-pound frame.
That'd be great.
It would be amazing. Him wearing, like, he would look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in them white jerseys.
He would. He'd look great. So I think when you talk about just the drafted portion of it,
yeah,
I think they drafted to their needs. I think that it was a good draft.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only second guess stuff. I mean, one of the things that I think is amazing, the Steelers do a phenomenal job in those middle rounds for drafts.
I think the linchpin of this whole entire draft is going to be that center.
Yeah.
If he pans out, I think he will be the linchpin of the whole entire draft. If he comes out, I think he's going to be a starter and he's free. I mean, I think he'll be the entire linchpin, and that will tell you what this draft is going to be. Because I think Najee's a home run pick. I think the tight end is going to be good.
He will be.
You know, I just think that center is going to be the linchpin of this whole thing. If they can get three contributors next year out of this draft,
which I think they can.
I think they can too. I think they're going to get more.
I think I could see 3 starters right out of the gate. I think the tight end will start.
No.
I think he will in the heavy sets.
In the heavy sets.
Yeah. Well, if you're committed to the run, you're not going to see him run out there.
You don't have an option.
Yeah.
Unless you, like I said, we were clamoring for Jesse James to get back.
Mm-hmm.
That dude stinks.
He does.
But, I mean, unless they kind of bring him back, which it wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't be a bad move to bring him back.
You'll get him cheap.
But
it adds depth. And he knows the system.
Yeah.
And you think, too, like now, I mean, I tell you, I have a lot more confidence in the line. I thought they were moving better anyway. And again, think of it this way, too. If Ben is spending more time handing the ball off, I don't think there's anything wrong with his arm. His arm looks solid to me. And if he comes in where I think the issue is always with his knees. If he can come in and shore that up, I mean, who knows? Maybe you get 2 years out of that.
Dude, if I got to watch that punchable face Rudolph play.
I don't know. So let's talk now about, they made some moves, again, with the undrafted free agents. Undoubtedly, probably the one that's created the most buzz is the Shakur Brown one. He's the cornerback from Michigan State. Some people had them on their draft boards as a 3rd-round pick.
So did he?
I don't know what happened. I don't know how he fell out of the draft. I don't know how it happened.
Was he kicking babies in the teeth or something?
I don't know what he did, but and again, he's that Hilton type of a player too. Very interesting.
I don't know. I mean, the last guy I took from Michigan State driving around marijuana and guns.
That's true, but he was pretty solid, wouldn't you say?
Who?
Were you talking about Bell?
Oh, there's multiple guys from Michigan State. No, I'm talking about the cornerback that just pled guilty.
Oh yeah, no. I thought you were talking about a Steeler from Michigan State, not.
Yeah, the cornerback.
Oh, Lane.
Lane's from Michigan State.
Yeah, Lane.
What are they doing up there in Michigan State? All they do is ride around with guns and smoke weed and have 47 baby mamas.
How close is Michigan State to Detroit?
Not that close. I don't know, dude.
Well,
I think Ann Arbor's closer.
You're probably right. So I'm anxious to see what this kid does. I mean, because it created a lot of buzz. They picked up Calvin Bundridge, a linebacker from Ohio State. Did you look at any tape on him?
From where?
Oklahoma State, excuse me.
No.
Tim, how about the kid Rico Bussey from Hawaii, the wide receiver from Hawaii?
Dude, when's the last time somebody from Hawaii was good?
They used to be the Rainbows. Now they're the Rainbow Warriors, thank God. I mean,
I don't know how anybody goes to school in Hawaii.
That's true.
I failed out in 4 seconds.
They picked up 2 wide receivers, and they picked up, Jamar Watson, linebacker from Kentucky. Actually, I saw tape on him. He didn't look bad.
Come on, dude.
He did not look bad. He looked pretty good. On. So I'm thinking between that, and I think they still have the opportunity to pick up a couple guys. I think
they're not picking up any more dudes.
I can see them picking up Jesse James or something like that.
I don't want to throw it out there.
Who do you think? Who do you think they're going to pick up?
Do I think it would be maybe making a run at him?
Who? You think of Geno?
Who?
Geno Atkins, or who are you thinking of?
No. The Geno Atkins. Now that they have buttermilk from
Loudermilk.
Is it buttermilk or Loudermilk?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the most Wisconsin name ever.
It is. So who do you think they're going to make a run at?
Do you make a run at Sherman?
Why not? Can't hurt you. Yeah, you can probably get him. Did anybody pick up Nelson yet?
Dude, Nelson ain't coming. That dude's a knucklehead.
Well, he is a knucklehead, but if nobody picked him up, I mean, that's
Nobody's picking him up.
well. Now it tells you. Now everybody, they trashed the Steelers for doing that, but nobody picked him up yet. So maybe there's more to the story that we don't know about.
I don't know.
I know this. I think the draft is solid. And again, I think we ran out of steam at the end. There's no doubt about that. But we're not talking about a team last year that was a complete disaster. And it's amazing to me how we've already been like, oh yeah, they were awful. And we didn't do anything to help them. I think that the draft did a lot to help them, and I think they navigated their cap situation pretty decent because it was awful.
I agree. It's just very weird seeing the difference in how people have their draft graded.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it in the past where you're kind of like, I mean, I've never seen a Steeler draft fluctuate from people saying this is an A+ draft to like a D.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen it. It's crazy. Do I think they reach on some guys? I did, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, if you can get Najee Harris was just if that dude doesn't pan out,
I think he'll be fine. I have not seen too many guys that I would consider almost a home run, unless there's an injury or something like that. He'll be fine.
I mean, I can't tell you how you saw, dude. I have never been happier. I was so happy.
He was, and he's never happy. I'm telling you guys, he's never.
I mean,
happy.
I almost went into like, I almost went to tears.
He did Jubilee, tears of Jubilee.
I mean, I'm looking at my wife and I'm going, when the Dolphins picked whoever the heck they picked, I go, they're actually going to pick Najee.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for just a complete disaster. And then drafting some other guy I never heard in my life, and I'd be like, I was going to just chuck something on my TV. Yeah. I mean, it's incredible.
No, he did great. One thing I like about Najee too, we haven't talked about, he doesn't fumble.
No.
He just doesn't put the ball on the ground. No. And I like Benny Snell, but he fumbles. If you fumble in the NFL, we can't use you.
Benny Snell stinks.
Who do you think is your number one running back now, other than Najee? Who's number two?
Benny Snell.
Well, you know what? It is what it is.
But you got, I don't know. The kid from Maryland, you got to give him some touches. If he's
just not big enough.
You drafted him like third, fourth round. He's got to give him some juice.
I get it.
We'll see. I don't know.
And I'm interested to see what Canada's offense looks like this year too. I think it'll be interesting to see what this thing turns into. But I don't know. So that's our draft analysis to start. We can talk about a few other things a little bit later too. Let's open up the Yinzer mailbag now. What is the Yinzer mailbag? It's when you, the fans, get to talk to us, the Yinzer Bros, about anything you want about the podcast. Again, if you got any questions, thoughts, comments, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com. And if you are lucky enough, privileged, you get to be on the podcast with these two good-looking guys right here. Again, so Tim, did we get anything in the Yinzer mailbag?
We did. I mean, our favorite, Marky Mush. Really?
So what are some questions from Mark?
Marky Mush. I mean, I kind of went my grade for the draft. He's asking, what was your grade for the Steelers draft?
I would put the Steelers draft, I would say a solid B.
Solid B.
Yeah, it's definitely beyond average. I think because they drafted for what they needed. And draft is one of those things. I think the Steelers traditionally, there are organizations that are built by free agency and there's organizations that are built by the draft. I think the Steelers do a great job with drafting what they need and they find those pieces. So I think I've given them a B, maybe even a B+. Okay. What's your grade?
I went with a B minus to a C+. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, the linchpin of that draft is going to be that center. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I believe in rounds. I think the other tackles would be okay, but I'm still shaky on them. Like I said, I don't like the linebacker pick, and I hate the Wisconsin pick. So, how I feel about them drafting corners.
Yeah, we have not been the best at it. I mean, but if they can find a kid like Hilton again, I mean, they drafted Hilton. He was decent. He's gone.
They didn't draft Hilton. Hilton was a walk off the street guy.
Really, he was an undrafted free agent. Yeah. Well, that gives me even more hope now because he's a homegrown guy. We didn't get him from anywhere, right?
No.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know.
Another question, of course, is Tim have a Najee jersey yet? For you to get a jersey, you gotta prove to me, hey, I got some juice. Because I mean, for all I know, I think this guy's gonna be incredible. He could turn out to be Trent. What's the other Trent Williams or whatever in Alabama back they had a couple of years ago? That was brutal. I don't even know that in my life.
But I mean, here's another question: did you get a Claypool jersey yet?
No.
Why not?
He's on my list. He's on the list.
Why? He's Mabeltron. He's Mabeltron.
No, he needs to stop doing TikToks. So sick of TikToks. See that dude do TikToks 24/7.
Hey, I heard your buddy Trill. Doesn't he have a rap album now?
Oh, he better hope he gets some good publication out of this, because guess what? You got one more year in the league, buddy.
So what else did Mark bring in?
Who's gonna be next place kicker in the
Punter or place kicker?
Place kicker. Punter.
Punter?
It better be that dude. If that dude's not the punter,
he's the guy.
Go nuts.
Well, he's the guy. I mean, he's American. He's not Australian, right?
Yeah.
Barry's from Australia.
The dude is.
I don't even know if does he understand our football?
No.
I don't even think he understands our football. I think he's playing rugby.
He has naked pictures of somebody.
He must. Presley Harvin the third.
I mean, the third.
The third.
You know, I'd give him the number 3.
I think that's why. I think that's you
Does
just
any
knocked
quarterbacks
out.
have it? 3?
I don't know.
If Mason has it, just rip it off of Mason's face.
What is Mason's number?
I don't do.
Is he number 2 maybe?
I think every time I look at Mason, all I picture is his face, stupid face. Good question. How many of these picks do you think is gonna make it out of camp?
How many picks are going to make it out of camp? How many? We have 8 altogether.
Yeah.
I would say.
I don't think. No, there's no way all 8 are gonna make it out of camp.
I would say 6 out of 8.
I think that's a good number.
Yeah, 6 out of 8. And then I think you're going to see a couple of the undrafted guys sneak through there too.
Oh, here we go. What's your thoughts on the rest of the AFC North?
The North division.
I thought Cleveland. I thought the Ravens had a Ravens always draft good, man. It seems like every player that I want the Steelers to draft, the Ravens draft.
But isn't it funny though? The Ravens. How many throwaways of us do the Ravens pick up?
What are you talking about?
Like, after we've had him for a few years.
That dude's a traitor. You know what we're talking about.
Oh,
right
we're
now.
talking about Villanueva, but we'll talk about him in a second.
Dead to me.
So let's just be real about
dead to me.
The Ravens.
Dead.
This is how far the Ravens go.
Dead to me.
Yeah. Well, tell me who's the linchpin for the Ravens?
Who's the linchpin?
Yeah. Who's going to be the cap for the Ravens season? The Ravens season. Where are all the eggs at? Whose basket?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. Are you convinced that Lamar can take them deep into the playoffs and even to the Super Bowl?
If he doesn't poop himself, yeah.
Do you think he can do that this year? Has he shown anything to make you feel like he's going to be different than he has been the last couple of years?
How far did he go last year? Did he win some? Did he win a game last year?
I think they got bounced after the first game.
Who did he play?
I don't even remember. Was it Tennessee or who was it?
I don't know.
He had another meltdown again.
I thought he won one.
They stopped.
Know, dude.
Are the Ravens? Do I think the Ravens are a viable threat? Could they win the division? I don't know, because I think the league is catching up to him. And let's just be real. The older he gets, the slower he gets.
I mean,
he's only been in the league 3 or 4 years now.
No, man, I think it's going to be
5 years.
Because he came in with Baker, didn't he?
Yeah, he came with Baker.
They just picked up Baker's fifth year. No, he's going to be 50 because they got picked with 50-year option.
So you know what, the Ravens, they don't terrify me. Cleveland, I think they're going to be whatever they're going to be. Baker, he did good toward the end, but you forget beginning of the season they're calling for him to be benched.
Do you see Myles Garrett?
Yeah,
that dude looked like Lou Ferrigno.
He's a big dude.
He looked like the Incredible Hulk. The seams of his jacket were screaming. Where do you? Let me ask you a question.
And they did pick up that other edge.
If you're that big, where do you go get a jacket?
You don't go; they come to you.
But even when
you have that kind of money, they come to you.
But how do they? I mean, that suit jacket had to be $9 million.
Oh, I bet it was. So I think Cleveland's always there as a threat. Mm-hmm. But again, I don't put them out of where they're I saw the rankings. I think they were 6 and the Ravens were 7.
Yeah.
I don't think they're the 6th best team in the league. I could be. Now they did upgrade, which is decent, but we'll see.
Yeah, but they are getting OBJ back too, though.
They will be. They will. And but that could be good and bad. He's one of those guys. This is the category I put him in, Beckham Jr. He is one of the most amazing guys that has done nothing.
Really great catch.
A catch. Can he stay on the field?
I would take him in a heartbeat.
Is he a head case?
Sure.
Strike 2.
They were all head cases.
You know what? I'm just telling you right now. They give him a lot of props.
Guess what he's not doing? TikToks.
That's true. So let me ask you a question. Is he a Hall of Fame receiver?
No.
Then why are we talking about him like that? Why do we? To me, he's the Phillip Rivers of receivers. I'm tired of talking about Phillip Rivers. Will Phillip Rivers ever get in the Hall of Fame?
I think his stats, you have to at some point. He got better stats than stinking Manning.
How many rings does he have?
I mean, I can't stop it.
How many rings does he have?
None. 0.
What has he done?
He'll make the Hall.
And then again, we know Cincinnati season goes to Burrow.
That team, But they probably had a shot at probably, I would say for sure for anybody in that whole entire draft, the tackle from Oregon
Mm-hmm.
that they passed on and took the receiver instead when they already have like 2,000-yard receivers.
It was dumb.
Joe Burrow has a new leg because their line stunk last year.
Right.
Like, why wouldn't that dude's going to be there for? He's going to be
agree.
Hall of Fame, 15-year All Pro.
Yeah, I agree. That was
dumb.
So where do you place him in the division? Where do you place the Steelers in the division this year? I've heard people say third or fourth.
I think they're going to be. They're going to be battling for the division crown again.
I do too.
They're just. They are, dude. I mean, they're going to be battling for the division crown.
I think you're right too. I think you're right. I think you get a good running game behind Ben, he'll be fine. They get receivers that are ridiculous. Our defense,
the running game's going. Even if it's going to be better, just because of Najee.
Yeah.
Najee's going to make them. I'm sick of people saying, "Well, they're going to line. They're going to," and I get it. But guess what? Your line may stink, but if you have a special running back, he's going to make the line a little bit better.
Yes.
You can't tell me that Le'Veon Bell. That was the same line Le'Veon Bell was running behind.
Yes.
He made that line better too.
He did. In the defense, I mean, you take off 2 key injuries last year. People forget we lost Devin Bush, and you lost Bud. Mm-hmm. Now again, Bud was a great edge guy, but he wasn't that great until we get this other edge guy.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think we're going to be okay.
To me, it's the injury factor for the edge guys that gets me petrified.
We're
one of those guys that if I got to see Marsh, that guy stinks.
Yeah,
I don't know who he got pictures of somebody too.
I agree. So what else you got?
I mean, he's always going to tell me Brown's got a gem and a Notre Dame linebacker. I don't know. Again, my theory on Notre Dame players is this: the more Notre Dame players you have on your roster, they'll get you to second, maybe an AFC title game. You'll get to the AFC title at max, and then you'll get throttled by the good players. Well, 1 year you may all the other players getting up to the AFC title game. They all may die, and you may get to a Super Bowl, but you will eventually get your heads beat in the Super Bowl because that's what Notre Dame players are. Yeah. They're as good as you got great players, and there's under great. That's what they are. They're under great. So the more you got them, when I watched them play Alabama and Najee's not even touched till
Alabama's just they're different.
He was averaging 8 yards a carry against Notre Dame.
Yeah,
and I think he only played till halftime.
Yeah.
I mean, that tells me if he's averaging 8 yards a carry, he's not getting touched until he reaches secondary.
That's true.
So you keep your Notre Dame linebacker.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of Cleveland.
Only Notre Dame player
Mapletron?
No. Joe Montana. You know why?
Oh yeah.
You know why?
That's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
he's from Pittsburgh.
It saves Western Pennsylvania blowing just through his veins.
It's right. It's just from Pittsburgh. It neutralizes all the Notre Dame stuff.
I mean, he's asking about the Chicago Bears.
What does he want to know about the Bears?
NFC teams.
The Bears are going to ruin another quarterback.
Okay.
That's what they're going to do.
Hot, steamy mess of the Chicago franchise had a good draft. O-line still stinks. Okay. I think Justin Fields is going to be – I don't care what – it doesn't matter, Chicago fans. You could have Aaron Rodgers traded to you tomorrow. He's going to get hit by a bus, and he's going to stink.
He will.
Just because that's just the quarterback. You just deal with it.
It is. It's a cursed organization.
When it comes to quarterback, it is.
Who's who's still the greatest? Sid Luckman. Sid Luckman's. I'm sorry if you're dealing with that, they're going to just destroy another quarterback.
It's the 1920s. 1920s.
Look what they did to Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler wasn't awful when he came there.
No, and he's turning people hated him when he was there. Now he left. Everybody loves him.
Because it's all they had. That's all they had.
It just stinks.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Post draft, what's your Steelers regular season wins over unders and finishing the division? I
think the Steelers are going to win. There's 17 games this year, right? I think the Steelers are going to go 12-5, and I think they're going to finish
12-5.
12-5
with that schedule.
Yeah, it's a heavy schedule, but I think they're going to be okay. Here's the thing: I've always thought about the power schedules. Every team is different every year, so I think it'll be different. I think they're going to go 12-5, and I think they're going to finish either tied for first or second in the division. They're going to definitely be in the playoffs. So I think the AFC is just not. I mean, once you get past our division, I think we're going to have the heaviest division in the AFC again. Patriots, I don't expect much out of them again. Buffalo's going to be strong. Miami's going to be better. There's no doubt. Texans are a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Jaguars, they're a dumpster fire. They're going to be better, but they're a long ways off. Once you get past KC, who scares you in the AFC? Raiders look awful. Broncos look terrible. I mean, who's there?
Indy's that weird team because you don't know what
Indy could be decent.
You don't know what Wentz is going to be. If he's going to be anything like his old Wentz, they'll be good. If not, they'll be a dumpster fire too.
But you're right. That is so. I'm going to say, and I know that they have a very tough year. Again, one of the challenges for us too is the AFC North is very strong. Yeah. You get some of these other, like Buffalo, the East is going to be, other than Miami. I mean, there's not. What do you got to worry about the Jets? What are they going to do?
The Jets are going to be a dumpster fire.
Yeah. So what do you think they're going to be?
I don't know if I get 12-5. That's a crazy record. I would think they're more of a 10-7 team, and I think they're going to sneak in as maybe a wild card. I think maybe I can also see 3 teams get into the playoffs out of our division.
I believe it.
I could see them finishing second. I could see them finishing third. I don't think they're going to finish first. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm going to make a bold prediction here. Ready for this bold prediction? Mm-hmm. I think before the end of the year.
Let me tell you, I think they're going to challenge for the crown.
I think they'll challenge for the crown. I don't think Baltimore is going to be as good as people think they do. I think it's going to be us in Cleveland duking it out. Mm-hmm. That's my opinion. I think Lamar.
I can't wait to see TJ.
I think he takes another step back.
Wait to see TJ Watt go against Villanueva.
Oh yeah. So for those of you that don't know, I mean, it's probably a good fortune thing that we decided to push the podcast. Actually, we couldn't do the podcast because Tim's mic broke, so we had to go to Best Buy. That was a fiasco, but we have a good mic now. It's fine.
It could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a lot worse, but thank goodness Tim paid the money for the Geek Squad, which is good. But Alejandro Villanueva is now a Raven, and he took a couple shots at the Steelers on the way out.
Dead to me.
He took a couple shots.
He's dead to me. He'll be a turnstile. He's going to just go round and round.
Now, I clearly, when you look at the tape, the 2 linemen that I think lost a lot of steam and steps that we had last year, the 2 right off the top of the head is Villanueva and Pouncey. They looked, Pouncey looked like he was on roller skates, and Villanueva looked like he was running in concrete. I don't know what would make. I don't know why he would be different for them.
He's not. He's going to stink. I mean, congratulations. You got a bag of money. You're going to suck. I've seen all these Raven fans. Oh, great. No, okay. You know what? Come week 7, and you're like, this dude sucks.
I think you're right.
I mean, this dude, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Like I said, if this was Villanueva 2 years ago, I'd be like, we lost a big piece. This guy, he's done.
Yeah.
He's done. He's done. Next question. Yeah. He's asking you how many throws has Ben got left in his arm.
Plenty. I'm not worried about Ben's arm. I'm worried about his knees.
His knees will be fine.
Yeah.
I can't take my knees. My knees are brutal.
I mean, think about this. You got a guy now like Najee, and they get the running game back on. He hands that ball off. Let's say I would love to see those carries be 25. At least 25 carries a game, maybe 30. Be great.
I hope so.
So let's say you get to 30. I mean, that takes a ton of weight off of Ben. He can still, there's nothing wrong with his mind. He can still recognize the defense. I think he gets into trouble when he thinks he's got to do everything by himself. So I think just giving him a tight end, a center, and a running back, I think they gave Ben something that they, right now you look at what's happening in Green Bay. It's a dumpster fire in Green Bay because they just seem to do whatever they want and not give Aaron Rodgers what he needed. I think they gave Ben everything that he needed to be successful this year.
I agree. I agree. I mean, you got, like I said, you got the tight end, you got the running back. I mean, you're gonna have more. I think more athletic line, younger, more athletic.
I agree.
Line.
Our line got old really quick.
I think it's going to be a team that if they start out fast, I'll be shocked. I think it's one of the teams going to get better as the season goes on.
I agree.
I wouldn't. It wouldn't shock me to see them jump out the gate at like a 3-3 or something like that, and everybody's screaming that the sky's falling, and then them just kind of rattle off as that line kind of meshes and it gets more experience, and you're kind of going, whoa, okay, you got something here. Wouldn't shock me.
I think one of the things, again, that I love about the team, the defense is still pretty solid. I know you lost Hilton, and I know you lost Bud, but you got to remember, we didn't have Bud for the back half of the year. Mm-hmm. You got Highsmith, who's got another year under his belt, and I think Hilton can be as good of a player as he was, I think you can replace him. I don't know.
Hilton got that. Dude, Cincinnati gave him a bag that's just unreal. I would have never given
It
him
is.
much money.
It's just absolutely crazy. So who do you think, just real quick, talking about all these, these things here, who do you see then, coming out of the gate as far as like, any teams that you think, might surprise you that are under the radar right now that may come up and bite somebody? Or do you think
you talking the whole league or just the AFC?
Let's talk the AFC real quick first.
The one team that I would be very, very, and I think you name it, I don't know if it's a jump and bite you. I think Miami's they got a lot of talent, man. And they had a lot of draft picks. I think they're going to be pretty good. I mean, again, you got Tua's going to have another year of experience. We'll see. I mean, if you don't know with Aaron Rodgers, if Aaron Rodgers goes over to Denver, hypothetically, with that defense and some of the pieces they have, I mean, it's tough because you're being Mahomes' division, but that's a team you got to be shaking boots, man.
No, I agree.
And I think New England, they did a lot in free agency, so I wouldn't count them out. I think they're going to be a lot better than they were last year. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll see how good their system is. Did he ask any other questions at all?
He asked, of course, NHL playoffs in a week. We're going to talk about the Pens at all.
We can't. Pens look strong. They look very strong.
Normally the Yinzer Brothers, we start worrying about hockey in June. That's about I'd say about third round of the playoffs.
That's true.
That's kind of what we expect. We better get to the it's conference finals. That's the bare minimum what we expect.
It's interesting to me because people, especially early on, they started writing the Penguins off, and it looks like Jari is starting to play lights out again. Malkin came back.
I'm so sick of people peeing on Sid.
I know.
Just because
Sid's still, I think he's still the best player in hockey.
He wins another cup. He may be in the he's already in the top 5.
Oh, without a doubt.
He may move into the top 2.
He's definitely in the top 3. Then I think.
He may move above Mario.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, Mario is pretty special. Mario
he wins another cup. That's what.
The dude,
is that would better be 4 or 5.
Yeah,
that's crazy, dude.
Yeah. So I think the Penguins are going to be fine. They look like they're juiced up. I don't know where they find these players. Holy crap! They're solid. They're strong. They're fast. They're getting all their guys back. Their defense is ridiculous. They just overtook the Capitals, and I think they just beat the Flyers again. So they just look strong.
Yeah. I'm hoping to have another pair of Stanley Cup champion socks.
Yeah,
come June.
It's a good call. It's a good call.
The Bucks.
They're playing better than I thought they would. I didn't think they'd.
He's asking, can we name it? Can we name the starting outfield? I can name one person in that outfield.
I would.
Kalanka's the only person I can name.
Yeah, and it's funny, of all the guys in the outfield, he was probably the weakest up to probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
TJ, I can't name another player on the team. I can't. Kevin Hayes, dude.
Yeah.
It's hurt because he's young and he's good.
Yeah,
but they want to trade him. What just is asinine? If you look around, the pitching staff that they could have had. Mm-hmm. Cole is untouchable.
He is.
Glass now down in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him make Mike Trout look like child's play.
Yeah.
They're just
the guy that's in prison now. Nightmare. What happened to him?
He stop messing with 12-year-olds. You'd be fine.
I'll tell you what, though. I looked last week. I don't know what the records are now, but they were actually 1 over 500.
No, they lost. They got swept by, I think, the Cardinals.
Oh, did they? Man, the Cardinals, dang it. Well, they're good every year, aren't they? So, but you got to think this. The Pirates are way beyond what I think anybody thought they would do.
I didn't think they'd win as many games as they have now. I think they won 10 games. I thought that's all they win all year.
I agree. I'm with you.
He's also asking about the story that we keep teasing the story.
Which story?
The poop story.
The poop story?
Yeah.
This has got to be talking about you then.
I had an issue with this.
Tim, now just so you guys know, let me just set this up here. Tim, well, the Harrises, let's just be fair. The Harrises, we've been given this constitution it's in our DNA, where we have no problems being regular. We're regular guys. I think it's in every stretch of of the word. In fact, in some areas we'd be overachievers when it comes to regularity. I'll just say that. So Tim had a unique thing happen to him a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unique is.
Yeah.
It's a fine word for it.
It's a very unique thing. And, let's just set the table right. It can happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody, Tim.
Yeah.
But it's better, and it's actually funnier when it happens to Tim Harris.
I mean, there's some of the stuff that happens to me is just unbelievable.
It is. Even today, I thought we were going to have an accident today. Tim has this morning ritual where he takes this ridiculous amount of vitamin C and emergency stuff, right? Yeah. Tell everybody what you take in the morning.
I take 2 airborne pills, vitamins that I don't even know what's in the vitamins I take. I got to take some for my low T.
Yeah.
I take that.
He does.
I take.
I saw the bottle. The bottle is, what is it, like a demon on a, what is it, a horse demon?
It's a wolf.
A wolf. Sorry, it's a wolf. If that doesn't help your low T, I don't know what does.
And, once you take that vitamin C, which
Well,
I'm stunned.
Tell them what you put the vitamin C in.
A cup of orange juice.
So the 2 emergency things in the orange juice, and he drinks it, and then tell everybody what happens after that.
I mean, I'm stunned I haven't started peeing like actually solid boulders by now. But it's like instant bathroom.
It is. I've witnessed it. He's much quicker than he looks when he's motivated.
Like seriously, I'm an idiot for not buying airborne stock. That's how much airborne I buy.
That's true.
So I mean that's it. But like the story, I mean, this was probably I'd say close to 10 years ago.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Probably.
So let me kind of set the stage. If anybody knows here, there's a restaurant here, or it was here, called Papado, which is like a
Cajun thing.
Cajun place.
Yeah. You get alligator and all that weird stuff there. Anything from the bayou, you can get at Papado.
Yeah. So my wife, we went there beforehand. This was before this story popped out. I usually try to stay in my lane when it comes to seafood.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do shrimp, I'll do crab. I'm not a big fish fan. People kept saying you got to try the alligator.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So I go, let's try this alligator. Have a couple alligator tail, whatever. Good little appetizer. I'm like, this stuff is amazing. So, wife called me. There was a lady in town from her work, older lady. She said, can be for a week. We'll take out dinner. You want to come? We're going to go pop it. I said, sure, I'll meet you there. So I met my wife and this lady there, after work. So go to Papado, and I'm going, man, those alligator bites thingies they had, we got to get some of those. So they come in a small or large order. Wife goes, should we get small? No.
Get the big one.
Get the big one.
You're a big guy. I understand.
Big guy.
Yeah, you're a big guy.
Chops are just watering.
Mm-hmm.
I probably eat 2/3 of this large plate of alligator tail. Had my meal. We're good to go. We're about to say our goodbyes, whatnot. My wife goes to me, hey, I got to stop at Whole Foods on the way home. I go, you know what? I got to get some pre-workout because I used to take some vegan crap from Whole Foods. It cost like $40. It didn't work. But I thought, I'm doing clean stuff. I'm going to do vegan pre-workout.
So you're going to get vegan stuff after you ate basically a 6-foot alligator.
Oh, this was just it was like a mixture from when I work out before I work out.
Sure. Makes sense. Sure.
So we're driving there, and my stomach starts bugging me a little bit. And I'm like, okay, now I'll make it. So we stop there. And we're in the middle of Whole Foods. My wife's going to get her stuff. And we drove 2 separate cars. So I met them up there. So I get my vegan stuff. Go to my wife. She's still looking at crap. And all of a sudden, I feel my stomach I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom.
Oh, we've all been there, Tim.
Okay.
We've all been there.
So I'm not a big fan of going to the bathroom in public places. But when you got to go, you got to go.
I get it. That's why they got them. I get it.
So I'm thinking Whole Foods, pretty clean place to keep it uptake. I'm like, it's Whole Foods. So I go to the bathroom. This is where I should have known I was in trouble. This was the first sign of something wasn't going to turn out well this night. I go, men's room, out of commission.
Oh, my.
So I had thoughts in my head of maybe I should go in the women's room. I think I opened the door. I go, open the door. Nobody's in there. I put they had one stall. I'm like, dude, my luck is I'll go in here and just some lady will walk in and I'll be just destroying this stall. So I go to my wife. You know what? I thought I was like, I got enough time. I can make it home. I go, hon, can you get this? I got to leave. I got to go home and go to the bathroom. So from our Whole Foods to our house is probably a good 10-minute drive. I'm fine. And keep in mind, to get to my house, you got to go past what I call Satan's spawn, which is we're all it's the courthouse.
Yeah.
Where the police are everywhere.
Yeah.
The jail's there.
So you can't speed.
So you can't speak.
Yeah, you just got to easy Eddie.
So you just got to go. So I'm feeling okay. I'm like, okay. Then all of a sudden, like, I'm getting sharp pains in my stomach.
That's when you know the train's coming, right?
This is where I was getting a little nervous.
Yeah.
I make the turn and I go, and by this time I'm probably 4 minutes from the house. I'm like, so it's gonna be bad. So I'm going past the, like, it starts getting worse.
Yeah.
Like by this point, I'm like, there's sweat beating down me. I'm going, and I'm saying,
which is very unique because Tim never sweats.
I mean, but I'm saying prayers to baby Jesus, saying, can you get me home? So I can't speed past, the grounds of hell.
Can I ask you, are you in the Jeep? Is there leather in the Jeep just in case there's an accident?
This is when I had the Acura.
Oh, dude.
And it was pure leather. And
Okay.
I mean, I would have thought about crapping in my Jeep. The Acura, I was like, well, can't do that.
Yeah, no.
So I finally, I get there, I get a street, and I turn, and by this time, it's one of those, if I don't get inside, it's bad. And like my dumb butt, before I go to meet my wife up there, I didn't turn any lights on outside. So by this time, it's pitch dark. And we didn't have an automatic garage opener at the time. I just had keys to get in the house.
Yeah.
So
you're fumbling with your keys.
So it's me trying to get in my. If somebody sees my key holes, it looks like a janitor's key thing. So you could think it's pitch dark. I feel like I'm gonna
shaking already.
I was shaking, and I'm like, dude. I think the first 2 keys I stick in the hole don't work. I'm going, and my hands are just going. And then, like, finally I get in the house. And by this time we had this dog, little dog. And Zoe, 10-pound dog of fury. The thing just barked and would just jump. It was just hyper. We had always locked in our laundry room. So normally first thing I do, I'll come and let it go. This time it was like, no way. And what makes the story even worse is we have a bathroom downstairs. It's like as soon as you walk in the house, there's a bathroom right there. My wife has it conditioned in my head because we got a new toilet in there. It was having some issues. Do not do number 2 in that toilet. So it's conditioned in my head that, like, even though it's like we're talking Mach 10 emergency right now, don't go to that bathroom.
So you run past a perfectly functioning bathroom.
I go sprinting upstairs. I run into the bathroom, and by this time it's like, here we go. So it just goes, and then something just was weird.
Well, describe weird, Tim, because I think right now everything you've talked about could be described as weird. What struck you as different?
I mean, I looked at the walls, and I just looked around. Something just didn't feel right. And there was poop everywhere.
So did you think you hit it, but you really didn't? Is that what it was?
I don't know what happened. Did
you black out?
I did. Like by the time I got into the bathroom, it was like, I didn't see anything. And I got there and it wasn't like I was sitting there for like a good, 2 minutes. And then I'm like, just something doesn't feel right. And I look around and there's just poop. When I talk about poop everywhere, it's like, it's insane. So I'm going, oh my God. I look down my pants, there's poop on my pants.
Oh no.
There's just poop everywhere.
Oh no.
And I'm in pure panic mode. Like, dude, what, you just don't know what to do. So right when this happens, who comes bebopping in the house? My wife. So she hears me in the bathroom, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And she's like, what's going on? My wife could she's like detective gadget person. What's going on? What's going on? And I'm yelling, get out of here. Don't come in here. Don't keep the dog. Don't even go near her. So what's the first thing she'd do? She opens the door. Our dog comes sprinting in there, jumping around like it's a poo-poo fest in the bathroom. So I'm like, I grabbed the dog. I'm like, get it out of here. And I told Melissa, I'm like, you need to, can you get me some paper towels? I mean, when I look back and there's like poop. I'm like almost 6 foot. Yeah. There's poop above my head on the walls. So my wife comes.
Tim?
My wife comes back with like 3 sheets of paper towels. And I'm like, no. I was like, I need a garbage bag and get me like 3 rolls of paper towels. It was so bad. I had to get everything cleaned up and like whatever. The toilet seat was so bad. I took it off. I immediately jumped in the shower.
With the toilet seat?
With the toilet seat. And as I'm in there, I'm like whimpering. And all you hear is my wife outside going, "Are you crying? Are you crying?" And I'm in the shower like, no, I'm not crying. I'm not crying. Leave me alone. Like the shame on me was unbelievable. Like there has been times where I felt shame on myself. You ever see like the gif of the lady when she's walking through and they're like, shame.
Yeah.
After everything's said and done, everything's cleaned up, the toilet seat, you had to throw away. There was no, TJ, I had it so long in the shower, like the padding was waterlogged.
Yeah.
There's nothing you could do. I came downstairs after it was all said and done. My wife's on one couch across from me. My dog's on one. They're looking at me. Even the dog just gave me a look of shame.
They knew what happened.
I never felt so crummy in my entire life. So moral of the story is this. I will never eat alligator ever again. Like, I have dreams of an alligator laughing at me, shaking his fist, saying, "I got you, you son of a bitch." So, the poop story will be living in infancy, like forever in my house. My wife, you will never let me forget that.
No, it's part of my brotherly duty.
So it's like one of those things. If I ever feel that, if you ever come to that situation again, TJ, I'm not even going in the door. I'm taking a dump outside
right by the shrubs.
In the grass.
Yeah. Well, you could have jumped in the women's room. I would have done that. You could have pooped instead of fumbling for your keys. Just drop it right there.
TJ, if you would have saw me fumble with my keys, you would have been like, those 4 plays you may have 1.5. I couldn't. It was like if somebody put me outside and it was -40 outside and I was butt naked. That's how much I was shaking.
And my favorite part, you run past a perfectly functioning bathroom. Up the stairs, which can't be good for your innards.
The sad part is I looked at the bathroom, like I saw it. I go, and all I kept thinking was my wife's finger going, "Don't you go into that bathroom." And I sprinted upstairs. And like I said, the biggest kicker of the whole thing was, it was bad. But to hear my wife say to me, "Are you crying?" I will never admit if I was crying or not. I was whimpering.
Well, that's the story. That's the story. So, hopefully we've gained some listeners because they can commiserate with you.
There is not a human on their planet that's going to say, "Hey, I crap myself and there was poop on the wall 6 foot up."
That's true.
We were. I'm not. You think I'm exaggerating when I say 6 foot, TJ? I stood up and I go, "How did the poop? How did it get up there?" It was like if you think of physics, it's absolutely impossible how it did that.
Well, if only we had cameras in there, we could roll back the footage.
It was like there was an alien in there, and it was taking the poop, and it was throwing it.
So I got to ask you, did any of the poop get on the dog?
I don't remember.
I
think I was so quick with the hand. It was like people may have thought it was like always like when a puppy you grab by the back of the neck. Yeah. When mothers do. I think I did one of those, just threw it out the door. Yeah. I was like, you had to, because it was like, if that dog, the dog, you gotta say, this dog loved me so much. It was like anytime it saw me, I was like, it was the happiest dog on the planet. And this dog was, if you just heard me yelling at my wife going, "Do not let the dog in here." And it was like the first thing she did. She just went, opened the door, and the dog came in like a bat out of hell.
Well, that's a great story.
I hope Papados is out of business.
Yeah, I haven't seen one in a while. Well, that does it for the Yinzer mailbag. Again, if you've got any questions for us, any comments, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com. If you're lucky enough you'll get your question answered here on the Yinzer Bros podcast. Tim, is there anything you'd like to add before we sign off tonight?
I mean, I've lost all my dignity by telling that story to probably our 30 listeners.
Pretty much 30. That's on a good day. 30.
Wouldn't this be the one podcast that we just blow up because Tim told the poop story?
That would be fantastic to me. That would be great.
I'm on a national level, and I'm known as the poop guy for the rest of my life.
It'd be worth it.
No, it wouldn't be worth it.
To get that kind of stature would be worth it.
34 he would be like, dude, you wouldn't last 2 seconds with me.
Maybe he'd write a rap song. Maybe you guys could rap together.
You know what would be my luck? He'd write a rap song. He'd get cut by Steelers, and he'd get famous off of me being the poop guy.
That's right. Poop, there it is. Poop, there it is. We already got it. We got your tag.
That's the way my luck would work.
You're probably
He'd
right.
be a famous rapper off this guy that pooped himself.
Probably. That's be it. So, Tim, again, I'm TJ. This is Tim. We're the Yinzer Bros. Don't forget, if you like what you hear, pass it along to your friends, your neighbors. Even if you don't, people that wouldn't like this, for us, just send the link anyway. Anything we can get. We're not picky. We don't want fans. We just want people to hear us. That's all we want.
I just want to give you a hug.
That's all we want. Yeah.
I just want to give you a hug.
And we will give you updates. As you know, the Steelers season is coming on. We'll drop another podcast here for the Pens as we get a little bit closer. It'll be great. So again, it's good to hear everybody. Good to see everybody. Stay classy, Pittsburgh. We're the Yinzer Bros.
Still number one out here.
See ya.